Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. And let's begin with the top stories of tonight. The head of state chairs the 11th meeting of the councils of ministers. And on the continental news, more than 200 deaths and 500 missing in flood in Nigeria. Those were the top stories, and welcome back in our newsroom. And during the 11th session of the Ministers' Council held today under the presidency of President Ismail Omar Guelleh, several important draft laws and decrees were examined and approved to strengthen the country's economic, social, and administrative governance. The Council of Ministers approved the financial statement of the Djibouti Economic Development Fund for the 2024 fiscal year, which show a positive reflect of 182.2 million Djibouti francs, an increase of 51.5%. This improvement is due to a reduction in expenses and the conversion of a part of the state's debt in equity. A decree was adopted to put in place the procedures for evaluating, rating, and promoting civil servants with the introduction of an annual interview based on objective criteria. This measure aims to professionalize career management, reward merit, and ensure fairness in the public service. The Council also approved a decree defining the remuneration system and social benefits of civil servants, replacing an outdated text from 1983. This reform seeks to put in place a fair and transparent framework for all public agents. Two lawyers, Isman Dahir El-Tire and Mohamed Ahmed Adlaou, were authorized to practice their profession in accordance with the current law. They have officially joined the Djibouti Bar Association. Finally, an order was adopted to expropriate 502 meters square of land in the Marabout subdivision for the benefit of the International Hydrocarbons Company of Djibouti. And this land will be used to build a factory for the production of barrels and storage of bitumen. The second part of the Council of Ministers meeting was devoted to communication from members of the government regarding the various missions and international meetings in which they recently took part. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, spokesperson of the government, who also serves as government spokesperson, reported on his official visit to Addis Ababa on May 14 to 15, 2025. And during this visit, he held discussion with his Ethiopian counterpart on reviving the Joint Ministerial Commission, migration issues, and mechanism for resolving customs dispute. He was also received by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali to address regional matters, particularly the situation in Somalia, Sudan, and the Horn of Africa. The minister also reported on his participation in the 34th year's Ordinary Arab Summit and the 5th Arab Summit on Economic and Social Development held on May 17 in Baghdad, Iraq. On that occasion, he strongly condemned the violence in Gaza, reaffirmed Djibouti's unwavering support for the Palestinian issue, and emphasized the need for collective action in response to multiple crises. He did not fail to recall for concrete investment in infrastructure, education, youth employment, and flood and food security. In addition, the minister presented a report on the third joint ministerial meeting between the African Union and the European Union. On the sidelines of this meeting, he held high-level bilateral talks with the European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs Kaja Kallas and the German Minister of Foreign Affairs Johann Wedful. Here is the news that just came out tonight. The day forest was partly destroyed today by a large fire. This Tuesday, a fire burned nearly 50 hectares in the forest near Mount Sheikh Absid. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Right now, the fire is getting stronger, and the National Gendarmerie are investigating how the fire started this morning, Tuesday, June the 3rd, 2025. And still the national news, during the national debate on foreign policy and its domestic impact of the National Assembly, several members of parliament questioned the relevant ministers on key issues affecting citizens' daily lives, such as urban management, energy, and agricultural development. The ministers provided detailed responses, outlined the progress made as well as the challenges to be addressed in order to reinforce the coherence between foreign policy and national needs. One parliamentarian asked this question, a female MP, Safia, alerted the government about the deterioration of cleanliness in the capital, Djibouti. She questioned the role of the municipality, which collects taxes from merchants but does not seem to reinvest in urban beautification. She also questioned the absence of local control on section mechanism, and the Interior Minister Said Nuh responded that he acknowledged the effort already made, notably collaboration with neighborhoods to organize waste collection and harmonize a schedule. However, he admitted the material resources remain insufficient. A bank loan has been, he said, obtained for the purchase of 28 new trucks, which will arrive by mid-July, as well as spare parts for 12 trucks currently out of order, expected by the end of June. These pieces of equipment will not be available before the Independence Day celebration. Meanwhile, a committee similar to the previous years will be reinstated to pool state resources and work to maintain cleanliness during the festivities, said the Minister of the Interior. Another parliamentarian asked another question. A deputy congratulated the Minister for Investment in Renewable Energy Infrastructure. He questioned the minister on the causes of the persistent rise in energy costs in Djibouti and the medium-term levers to improve energy competitiveness both for citizens and foreign investors. In his response, Energy Minister Younes Ali Guedi did not fail to recall that since 2011, several tariff reductions have been applied 5 to 6 times through presidential decrees. He announced the continuation of this price reduction policy despite some budgetary constraints. A study has been ongoing for 2 years with the Ministries of Finance and Budget, he said. The last reduction dates from June 2020 with the specific aid for households during the COVID crisis. A deputy, another MP, drew the agricultural minister's attention to a tender published in September 2024 to recruit a geophysical consultancy firm for drilling in several regions. And 9 months later, no activity has started on the ground, she said. She asked for the reasons for this delay, the date of evaluation of the bids, and the expected date for a contract award. Agriculture Minister Mohamed Awali did not fail to confirm that the question is legitimate. He explained that the concerned areas are geologically complex, requiring deeper drilling 200 to 300 meters instead of 150 to maximize, said the Minister of Agriculture, the chance of success. The government called on ODEC, which has a magnetoartilleric instrument better suited than conventional electrical surveys. He asked for a little patience, affirming that these studies are progressing. The second part of the debate focused on the challenges and political responses related to Djiboutian youth in the digital age. Parliamentarians questioned government members about the measures implemented to protect young people in cyberspace, raise awareness about responsible use of social networks, regulate online content, and support families in facing new digital challenges. One deputy said the youth of our country, Djiboutian youth, like everywhere in the world, live in a digital age. Mobile phones, tablets, social networks, and online content are now part of their daily lives. The internet is an extraordinary tool for education, openness, and creativity, but unfortunately, it is also a vector for dangerous abuses. In response, I believe our approach must be transversal, coordinated, and determined to protect our youth in cyberspace. Mrs. Minister of Youth and Culture, what awareness and prevention measures are implemented in youth structure, particularly the CDCs? Mrs. Minister, Delegate for the Digital Economy, regulation of online contact is a crucial issue. What regulation on infrastructure are planned to protect young people? Mrs. Minister of Women and Family often feels helpless facing screen addiction. The Minister Delegate for Digital Economy developed a strategy about 6 months ago. The strategy first allowed us to understand the cybersecurity issues. Today, we have a platform dedicated to protecting digital identity. The private sector is also involved. The state, as the guarantor of sovereignty, integrates cybersecurity within this sovereignty. And today, we have all the necessary instruments to act. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Hiba Mumin Asowi, said, I would like to emphasize that it is with fulfilled youth who are fully active in development that we will achieve our national and international development goals. This is often, she said, evident on the ground. And still with the national news, the Prime Minister of Somalia, Hamza Abdi Barre, on a 72-hour working visit to Djibouti, visited the Peace Memorial in Arta this morning. He inspected the newly built memorial building in Artas region. This historic place hosted the reconciliation conference between Somalis in 2000. It stands for hope, peace, and the rebuilding of Somalia. And upon his arrival on site, the Somalia Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre was warmly welcomed by the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Yunus Ali Gidi, and several members of the regional council. And the Somali Prime Minister left after a 72-hour working visit. And during his stay, Hamza Abdi Barre, Prime Minister of Somalia, worked to reinforce friendship and cooperation between Djibouti and Somalia, two friendly countries. At the airport, he was welcomed by members of the Djiboutian government, including Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, and by ambassadors of both countries. He also met with important officials, including President Ismail Omar Guelleh, to discuss cooperation between the two countries. Let's not forget that he was welcomed also by the Minister of Communication. And another news, a significant step forward in strengthening Djibouti's education system. And today at the Excellence School, a major milestone was reached with the two pivotal educational events. The foremost of this was the signing of a comprehensive framework cooperation agreement between the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training and the Ministry of Higher Education and Research. This historic agreement was formalized by the signatures of Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, Minister of National Education, and Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, Minister of Higher Education and Research. The cooperation agreement is designed to cover a broad spectrum of critical areas, including action research, teacher training, professional development, and the prestigious preparatory classes for elite schools. In speaking at the ceremony, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training emphasized that this framework agreement directly addresses the crucial need for enhanced pedagogical coherence and improve academic success across all levels of education. The partnership is founded on the principle of mutual complementarity between the two ministries. And now this tribute to young Djiboutian talents at the International Biology Olympiad in Russia. Yesterday, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, alongside his counterpart from Higher Education, presided over a solemn ceremony held to honor three exceptional young Djiboutians recognized for their outstanding achievements at the International Biology Olympiad held in Sochi in Russia, accompanied by their mentor, Mohammed Abdullahi Rayali, Professor of Life and Earth Science. These students from the scientific preparatory classes at the Excellence School shone brightly by winning a collective gold medal in the innovative project competition. This remarkable victory is all the more significant given the high level of competition, demonstrating the quality of their preparation and their strong team spirit. In addition to their collective performance, the laureates also earned a bronze medal in the practical tests, consolidating an impressive record. The two ministers present at the ceremony praised these young ambassadors of excellence. And the Russian ambassador to Djibouti did not fail to express his great pride in the remarkable achievement of the young Djiboutian talent at the International Biology Olympiad in Sochi, Russia. He did not fail to highlight that their collective victory, marked by a gold medal in the innovative project competition, demonstrated not only their academic excellence but also their exceptional team spirit. He stated that Russia was honored to support these young ambassadors of science and innovation, as their success symbolized the fruitful cooperation between the two countries in the field of education. Finally concluded the ambassador of Russia. In Mecca now, the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Waqf Properties, Momin Hassan Barre, met with the 1,400 Djiboutian pilgrims as part of the Hajj 2025 preparations. And during the visit, he praised their discipline and devotion, reaffirming the government's commitment to ensuring their religious, logistical, and health needs were fully supported. The minister inspected local services, accommodation, transport, meals, and religious guidance, and urged Hajj mission staff to maintain strict oversight, especially during key rituals at Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalif as well. He emphasized values such as solidarity, patience, and unity among pilgrims. The pilgrims expressed their gratitude for the high-level organizations. And during this meeting with Djiboutian pilgrims in Mecca, the Minister of Muslims Affairs and Waqf Properties, Momin Hassan Barre, did not fail to emphasize that Hajj is a unique and sacred moment in every believer's life. He stated that every effort must be made to ensure the pilgrimage takes place in dignity, safety, and peace of mind. The minister affirmed that the Djiboutian government is fully committed to providing strong religious, logistical, and health support to all Djiboutian pilgrims. As part of preparation for the Hajj pilgrimage, the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Waqf Properties, Momin Hassan Barre, also conducted today an inspection visit to the holy sites of Mina and Arafat. The purpose was to assess infrastructure such as accommodation, transport, and healthcare services for the 1,400 expected Djiboutian pilgrims. The minister stressed the importance of ensuring a safe and dignified pilgrimage. He did not fail to welcome the recent improvement, including air conditioning, the use of the jeep system, and the replacement of tents with prefabricated housing better suited to the heat.
لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك له لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك.
In his remarks here, also the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Momin Hassan Barre, stated that all necessary measures had been taken to ensure a safe and dignified pilgrimage for the 1,400 Djiboutian pilgrims. He pointed out the recent improvements such as air conditioning, the use of the jeep system, and the replacement of tents were reflected by the authorities' commitment to improving the pilgrims' conditions. This morning, the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, held a ceremony to close the National Literacy Program at its headquarters. The Secretary General Fatouma Moussa led the event with school principals, inspectors, and Education Council members attending. The program was carried out in cooperation with several ministries, including Education, Youth, Social Affairs, and Agriculture. It helped improve adult education, especially for women, with new books and improved teaching materials. Inspectors and school principals supervise the educational activities effectively. The school principal at the end of the ceremony, outstanding participants were honored, including the best school principal and the most deserving literacy teachers. And this program is part of a long-term vision to build a more educated and resilient society. The National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, will continue its effort and support with partners to ensure education is accessible to all regardless of gender, age, or social status. In her remarks, the Secretary General of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Fatouma Moussa, did not fail to express pride in the success of the National Literacy Program. She did not fail to thank all educational stakeholders for their commitment and emphasize the importance of continuing the fight against illiteracy. She stressed the key role of education in building a stronger society and assured ongoing effort in collaboration with the partner. She finally concluded. The Sheraton Hotel hosted today the opening ceremony of a training on maritime law. 24 non-commissioned officers and agents from the Djiboutian Coast Guard and the Navy took part. This training was organized by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and funded by the European Union. It is part of a regional program on maritime security in the Red Sea. Several officials attended the opening ceremony, including Colonel Waes Omar Bakore, Commander of the Coast Guard, European Union Ambassador Dr. Denisa Elena Lunet, the UN Resident Coordinator in Djibouti, Jose Barauna, the Navy representative and representative from the Ministry of Justice and the European Union. And at the ceremony, Commander Hani, representing the Navy, spoke about the importance of cooperation between institutions to properly enforce maritime law. And Colonel Waes Omar Bakore emphasized that knowing and applying maritime laws is essential for the Coast Guard and Navy staff to perform their mission with the competence and professionalism. He highlighted that the training helps strengthen their operational capacities and enables them to carry out their duties effectively. The commander expressed gratitude for the continued support of the European Union in building the skills of the Djiboutian Coast Guard and Navy, particularly through such training programs. And now, moving on to the continental news. As I said at the top stories, Nigeria, more than 200 deaths and 500 missing in floods. Nigeria is counting its deaths. The official number says 200 people died and at least 500 people are still missing. The city of Mokwa in Niger State has been badly hit by big floods since Thursday. These are the worst flood in the area in 60 years. The district of Tifin Maza and Angwan have almost disappeared because of the water. So that's it for tonight news. Thanks for being with us and have a good night.